she was pregnant and she was going to be induced that day, and you decided to put your hands on her. I don't understand how is she getting in your head that you would be hitting a pregnant woman who's about to deliver your child. And she had bruising and swelling to the eye, along with busted vessels in her eye. That's what you did. I used to do CPS cases, and parents would tell me I will walk through fire for my children.
Yes, ma'am.
They would say that because they knew nobody had a fire for them to walk through. Court is finding you.
All right, folks. Today's court case is as serious as it gets. We're looking at a deeply disturbing situation involving a defendant who was found guilty of abusing and assaulting his pregnant girlfriend. Absolutely disgraceful behavior. The bar. Judge doesn't pull any punches in this one, and the sentence handed down at the end, it's intense and well-deserved. Let me know what you think about this case in the comments below. And if you're into real courtroom drama and hard-hitting justice, make sure to like and subscribe for more. Let's dive in.
Did you understand you're charged with assault of a pregnant person? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. I'm looking at this plea bargain agreement, and there's to be no harmful or injurious contact with Stephanie Ortiz.
That's her by her request, Judge.
I'm not following. I'm not going to follow that.
Even though that's her request.
No, I mean, no, even though it's a request, according to what I'm about to receive, he is a person who is hitting on, not in a loving manner, a pregnant person. I mean, was she pregnant at the time?
Yes, Your
So if, you know,
She's
I-
requesting, and I'm sorry, Judge, may I speak?
sure.
She's requesting it for her convenience. They've been doing custody exchanges for the last almost a year through a third-party person, and it's her request. She reached out to me, filled out an affidavit of non-prosecution and requested that. So
I'm not following that. So if you all want to withdraw your plea now, you can, but I am not doing a no harmful or injurious contact for somebody who's accused, and I haven't read the, the steps yet, who's accused of hitting a pregnant person.
that's fine, Judge. They're no longer in a relationship. The only relationship is for the benefit of their children. He has no interest in communicating with her beyond that.
All right, so I'm not going to follow that. So y'all have a choice. Either you can go to jury trial, or either you all can change that part of your plea bargain agreement.
We're proceeding with the no contact, Judge.
All right, if you all want to change that. Court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, we would just request that you follow the agreement between the state and defense. Mr. Casillas is wanting to move forward in a direction that's appropriate for his children. He understands what went wrong, and he wants to take full responsibility for that. And he has had no issues since the arrest on this date, and they have been successfully co-parenting since that time. There was a CPS case, Judge, that was closed out for no finding.
All right, how old are you?
21, Your Honor.
How many children do you have?
2, Your Honor.
What are their ages?
1 year and 6 months.
1 year and what?
1 year and 6 months.
Are you employed?
Yes, Your Honor.
What do you do?
I work at Amazon at facility warehouse.
All right, so why do you keep hitting on Stephanie Ortiz? At one point, I'm assuming you loved her because you have children with her.
Yes, Your Honor.
So why do you keep hitting on her?
It was just me not being in the right state of mind, me letting my feelings get to myself and not just thinking right and thinking straight.
That makes no sense to me.
Your Honor, it was just my fault. I let my feelings get to myself, let her get in my head and
Let what?
let her get in my head, and I just reacted in a wrongful way.
No, but I mean, you're up here hitting someone. Honestly, I don't even know why I should follow this plea, but your attorney is telling me that she's filed a affidavit of non-prosecution. But according to this, she was pregnant and she was going to be induced that day, and you decided to put your hands on her. I don't understand how is she getting in your head that you would be hitting a pregnant woman who's about to deliver your child.
No, Your Honor, what that day was in the day we were supposed to get induced. But I believe the hitting was before that. So it was just the marks that had came about.
But you still hit her while she was pregnant,
Yes.
and she was close.
This guy really had the audacity to correct the judge, and not once did he show any real remorse for what he did. Instead of owning up and admitting he regrets putting his hands on his pregnant girlfriend, he tries to argue some technicality, like she wasn't even that close to him because of that. Seriously? You're facing charges for abuse and your focus is on when the pregnancy happened? It's wild. He's either completely delusional or just doesn't care. Honestly, it feels like he thinks he's totally justified, like he did nothing wrong. You can see it in how he carries himself. No humility, no responsibility, just attitude. What do you think? Is this guy totally lost, or does he actually believe he's in the right? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's get back into this and see how the judge handles the rest of this madness.
Anyway,
No, it's not, Your Honor.
but obviously she was pregnant. And what she's saying in this documentation, I want you to tell you the reason why I'm saying no contact,
Yes, Your Honor.
because what she's saying in this police report is this is not the first time that you've been abusive to her. And the police took photos and she had bruising and swelling to the eye along with busted vessels in her eye. That's what you did. So the two children you have, is this a boy and a girl or two boys or two girls?
Girl and
All right. So what's your daughter's name? Sarabella.
she's a year and 7 months.
All right. So she's a year and 7 months. I guarantee you she knows that you've been abusive to her mom. Do you love your daughter
I love her with all my heart.
with all your heart? Would you do anything for her?
I would, Your Honor.
I used to do CPS cases and parents would tell me I will walk through fire for my children.
Yes, Your Honor.
They would say that because they knew nobody had a fire for them to walk through.
Mhm.
But I believe you when you say you love your daughter.
Yes, Your Honor.
So how would you feel if your daughter became of age and she ends up with somebody like you who hits on her? Would you be okay with that?
I'll be very upset, Your Honor.
And so your daughter is learning what it means to show love is to hit on people, and might makes right.
Your Honor, that's
You're going to have to change your ways.
yes,
You
Your
are
Honor.
not to have any contact with Stephanie Ortiz. And anybody else you get into a relationship yet, don't let them meet your publicist. Let them meet you and tell them, hey, want to let you know, I had this abusive acts in my background,
Yes, Your Honor.
because then they can make an informed decision about whether or not they want to date you. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 6 years deferred.
6 years of probation for something as serious as assaulting a pregnant girlfriend? Honestly, that feels like a complete joke. Sure, probation is technically a punishment, but for a crime this severe, it barely scratches the surface. This isn't just a bad decision. It's a violent, heartless act that deserved real time behind bars. We're talking about a man who not only hurt someone physically, but also endangered the life of an unborn child. That's not just wrong, it's cruel. On a whole different level. In cases like this, probation comes off as a slap on the wrist. A 1 or 2 year prison sentence would have sent a far stronger message, and maybe forced this guy to truly reckon with the weight of what he did. But that's just my take. What do you think? Was probation way too lenient, or do you think the judge made the right call? Let's talk about it in the comments. Now, let's dive into the rest of this case.
with Stephanie Ortiz. There's to be the BIPP course, parenting classes, that can be with rainbows. There's to be 200 hours of community service restitution. That will be waived once he completes parenting classes. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular UAs. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Positive, Your Honor.
And what are you going to be positive for?
I mean, no, negative, Your Honor.
Negative? Okay. So you haven't used anything.
No,
I think Amazon drug tests, do
yes,
they
yes,
not?
yes, Amazon drug test, yes, ma'am.
All right, there's to be regular UAs. I'm going to want field visits one time every 3 months. Proof of employment within 15 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. Probation, is there anything else he needs?
You already did mention the regular.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, Your Honor.
Honestly, I think the judge really missed the mark on that last case. Let's just hope the guy doesn't end up making things worse for himself. but I'm not exactly optimistic. Now, this next case, it's on a whole different level. We're talking about a 17-year-old facing the possibility of 99 years behind bars. Yeah, you heard that right. 99 years. This teen is staring down a serious aggravated robbery charge, and if he's found guilty, the consequences could follow him for the rest of his life. Think back to when you were 17. Most of us were worried about school or friends, not facing a potential lifetime in prison. It's a huge case with a lot on the line, and the way the judge handles it could make all the difference. Let's dive in and see how this courtroom drama unfolds.
Each cause number, you're charged with the offense of aggravated robbery. That's a first-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? After reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments in each cause number, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge, but ask to waive PSI.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Just ask you follow the plea bargain here.
All right. And the cause number ending in 2528, the court will find you guilty, sentence you to 5 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. This will run concurrent with 2023 CR 2529, taking consideration 2023 CR 2621, 2527, 699185, and 184. There's to be restitution, if any, to Isaac Cervantes, Cameron Carroll, Kyle Sutherland, and Stephanie Lefevre, and also no contact with any of those parties. And then in cause number ending in 2529, court is finding you guilty, sentence you to 5 years in the.
Just like that. 5 years, then another 5. And now this 17-year-old is staring down a full 10-year sentence for theft. Instead of putting in the work like the rest of us, he chose the easy way out, stealing. And yeah, I get it. Life's tough. But that doesn't make crime the answer. He had other options. He could have picked up a trade, taken on a part-time job, or just worked towards something better. Now, even though he's still young and has his whole life ahead of him, the consequences are real. 10 years is a long time, especially at 17. Some people might say that's too harsh. Others think it's exactly what he needs to learn a hard lesson. Personally, I'm torn, but I can't say he didn't bring it on himself. What do you think? Is this sentence fair or too much for someone his age? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's see how he reacts to the judge's final decision.
Concurrent with 2023 CR 2528, taking consideration 2023 CR 2621, 2527, County Court Cause number 699185, 184, no contact, and restitution to the following: Isaac Cervantes, Cameron Carroll, Kyle Sutherland, and Stephanie Lefevre. I'm pronouncing that name all sorts of ways. I apologize to Stephanie. All right. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're off the record. How old are you?
17.
You're 17 and you're doing this foolishness. If you want things, you got to get a job so you can have things. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
For a 17-year-old, you've chosen a hard road for yourself because you're going to prison, 17. And you're going to be in prison with a bunch of people who are there for murders and other things. When you go to prison, Don't become institutionalized. You're 17, you still have a chance to make something out of yourself and do better in your life. So keep your head down and do your time and try to improve yourself. You can even take college classes while you're at the prison. And if you dropped out of school and don't have your high school diploma, you can get your high school diploma while you're there. So don't come out of prison having just wasted time, okay? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge. Maybe
This guy's definitely a man of few words. He took that 10-year sentence without so much as a flinch and walked right to his cell. Honestly, I'm not sure what I'd do if I were in his position. Personally, I probably wouldn't have committed the crime at all. But hey, who am I to judge? Do you think 10 years is a fair sentence for this? To me, it sounds about right. Aggravated robbery is serious business. And even though Judge Boyd is known for being lenient and giving people chances, this offense calls for a tougher stance. The guy was originally facing 99 years, so 10 years feels like a reasonable middle ground. Judge Boyd usually hands out probation, but from what I know, that's rarely the case with aggravated robbery. Maybe some of you have seen otherwise. Feel free to correct me in the comments. But as far as I'm aware, prison time is pretty much mandatory for this kind of crime. What do you all think? Is 10 years too harsh or just about right? I'd love to hear your opinions. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.